We'll need to find a second here. Well, Holding is going to hurl himself into Michael Oliver's book there.
I think he was getting a yellow card for the...
Honestly, during the game, I didn't see it.
I mean, to be fair, though, on the weekend, on Sunday, what I would have done with Maitland-Niles is not played him in midfield. I've just got him to man-mark Son, and I don't think Son would have had an easy, just that run and shot. But, you know, with that goal he scored, I just think Maitland-Niles would be able to keep up with him. Just say, literally detail him and say, get some Pritt stick or some sellotape and stick yourself to stop the whole game.
Pritt stick.
Yeah, or copy deck.
Brings back
Copy deck.
memories.
Gloy gum. Another really strange thing is, why play Mustafi at all? Because he's 100% going. Not January, then he's going in the summer. He's not the future, so why play him? Why not give it the minutes to someone that's definitely going to be sticking around?
Because Arteta fucked up with that, didn't he? He didn't include that's a Saliba in, didn't he? Into these squads.
Does anyone know if Luis is fit for Sunday?
Nothing's been said far as I'm aware. Probably find out on Friday or Saturday when he's had his press conference for Sunday's game. Oh, Mark's asking, have we spoke about the return to the 3-4-3 being a likely return to his first return to this?
He would have done it. He would have done it on Sunday, wouldn't he? He would have done it on Sunday if he was going to do it. He should have done it on Sunday, really. But I can't see him diverting away from it now because it'll make himself look even weaker than he does at the moment in this current situation. It'll be that will literally be
what he thinks is going to win the game. Because that's
I know. But
if he did that again.
If he did that against Burnley, I mean, he'd just get ridiculed because he should have done it against Spurs. I mean, why would you play 4-3 against Burnley? And that will literally be the last straw with regards to...
It don't matter to me. Ooh, yeah, man.
Oh no.
Yeah, we've got
Change it a bit slow then.
Got Macy on the bench, Hen on the bench, Saka, Ceballos, Holding, Balogun, Cottrell, and Aziz.
Holding then.
Oh, Cottrell.
Where's he played? Centre half, was he?
Cottrell. No, Cottrell's like he was likened, but I can't remember who it was now. Likened by maybe George Bird or someone like that, who said that Cottrell is a playing style similar to like a Gerrard from midfield, but again, clearly, not to that standard at the moment. But he's a very exciting player. He's very small, but he is a good powerful runner, ball carrier.
He left-handed. Did he play against MK Dons left back on left side?
No, he's a left footer. I'm sure.
Yeah,
of
that's
it.
the
so
one.
he may well
bringing on Balogun. Bringing on Balogun and Ceballos.
Yeah, Balogun, Ceballos.
Balogun's going to play at centre half, I reckon.
Even Mike's
why Ceballos though? And why not Aziz? Why not Aziz?
Oh,
why Ceballos?
Literally the same question, Mike. Will Ceballos on why? Question mark.
Well, why not Aziz? What? It's just so annoying. Really, what are we going to learn from putting Ceballos on? I mean, I know Ceballos has actually been really good in the when he's come on in the Europa League. He's looked really quite creative. He's been playing higher up the pitch, but put his ease on, see what he can do. It does my head in, it really does. But at least we're getting Balogun.
Not a hope. I did say earlier Balogun could score 4. Smith Rowe make them all still. No chance of playing on Sunday. We know Arteta will start with awful Xhaka, Willian, Bellerin, Laka and Uber.
For the moment, that's what it looks like because, Xhaka's not playing, so he'll probably
Go on.
he'll play on Sunday since he's rested.
Well, what I said yesterday, my show yesterday, I said, ideally, in an ideal world, what I would have loved to have seen tonight is the whole team that played against Tottenham be forced to play tonight. And the ones that played really well in the Europa League last week, let them play against Burnley.
El Neni for Ceballos. Or Ceballos for El Neni, sorry.
I was nearly there, wasn't I? With the but he should have brought on Aziz instead of Ceballos. The old desperate Dan at the back for Dundalk again.
Oh, desperate Dan.
When do we play our next the round matches? When are they? Are they in the new year?
February, yeah.
February, isn't it?
February. Blah.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss these Thursday games.
Yeah, this one we have a bit of fun in it. Playing.
Yeah, it's going to be a real hard slog over the Christmas period. It's going to be really tough, I think. It'll be a hard watch. These have been a nice light relief, haven't they? These get in there. Who was that? Oh, it's Willock.
I think Balogun made it, actually. I think he held it up in the box. I'll have to have another look.
Yet another goal from Willock, which is probably puts him maybe as near enough our top scorer of the season.
What assist from Balogun.
Yeah, Balogun held it up well, didn't he?
Yeah, really good. Absolutely fantastic. Hold up. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 players
Really
on him,
good.
one in front of him as well. So he had 3 players around him.
Big lads, didn't they?
Yeah.
Big lads, Harry. Keeper was dodgy keeper, though.
See, and whatever you say about Willock, he may not have he's had a really quiet match, but he's come up with a goal again. You can't knock him from goal scoring midfielder, which we haven't got. I keep saying. So,
Ball slipper has been
he's
on
always there, isn't he?
Mike's happy as well in the chat. Steve, John saying that last. Russ is absolutely ecstatic. And as I said, good hold-up play from Balogun. I'll go further, that's a fantastic hold-up play.
I do like to look at
Balogun.
Marvin as well.
Got taken out there. Oh, that was nasty.
Come on.
That was horrible.
Come on. What?
And
That was
Go in the chat to saying also, yes, Balogun held up the ball. Notice that Laka, Uber, Eddie, and Arsenal scores. Oh,
That's got to be a
I've
booking
just
shot.
seen it. Yeah, I've just seen that.
Disgraceful. He's got up though, right? That's
It
all
wasn't even a free kick. It wasn't even a free kick.
Well, he played on, didn't he? Played on.
Well, he should have brought it back when it came to nothing. That's what he normally do. Decent refs. They'll let it go on for a little while, and if it comes to nothing, they'll draw it back. Not even booking. Nothing. Bloody joke.
Come on, Arsenal.
Mustafi there out on the left wing.
They're booking him now, I think.
Good.
David O'Cleary got booked.
I'm just literally thinking the same thing.
He put his finger up like one the defender. That's the first time I poleaxed someone, ref. As a defence.
Yeah. First time I sent someone 6 feet through the air. What's the matter with you?
Yeah. Call yourself a ref.
Cleary misses next match. Well, that's handy, considering it's the last match of the group. So I didn't be worrying about that too much until next season.
They're a poor team, this team, aren't they?
And Mark Green's popped up and saying that's why you should start Balogun over all 3 of them.
That's what I said to them. What was it? I think. But what kind of message would it send out if he actually dropped Aubameyang and put Balogun in his place? That'd be great. Give him a kick up the arse that he needs. I don't care whether he's captain or not. He's playing crap. So he deserves to be dropped.
Come on. Bring on Aziz now. Come on, 70 minutes. Let's bring on Aziz.
I know. Please,
Well
bring
played,
on Aziz.
Cedric.
Yeah,
That's
please,
you know.
Aziz. Please, Aziz.
Nice. Well done, Balogun. Nice hold up, showing your strength. Just get the confidence of showing your strength. That's all right.
Yeah, Huggy as well. Huggy Jr. If anyone knows what I'm on about.
Hadji, you mean?
Hadji, yeah, pronounced it right.
Huggy Bear.
Yeah, I think they're talking about Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh dear.
Well played, Cedric. Cedric's a proper footballer, you know.
I really like him. He's having another really good game, in my opinion. He did really well there, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got a football brain.
Yeah.
Who's come on? Got an Arsenal geezer. Is it Cottrell's come on, I think?
Yeah, that's nice to see.
Smith off Cottrell, yeah.
I'd like to see Aziz, though, please, as well. That'd be nice.
You can't have everything, Andrew, all right? You're only allowed 3 out of 4.
No, they're 5.
No.
In Europe, they're 5.
Why take him all the way there if you've got no intention of playing him when we don't even need... We could lose 10-0 and still win the group. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, Brownie also saying the best thing for Brownie is just unsub from that channel. Don't go back on it then. And also, that's the same, Brownie, do you have the Arsenal membership all paid up?
It's got to be washed. Take the tin off it.
Yes, come on. 4-1. Balogun.
Oh, yeah. We can't use this kid, apparently. We can't use him. It's just, we can't use him.
No, he's too good. He scores goals. We don't want to be doing that sort of stuff, do we?
You can't use these kids in the Premier League.
You know what I like about that goal? He asked for it. He knew exactly where he wanted it. That's nice.
Yeah, Pepe did nice. Pepe did well in the build-up as well, which is good.
Pepe did well, and this geezer, Balogun, had a lot of space in the area. You look at his intelligent running. Look, give it to him. That's it.
Good run, yeah.
Oh, it's lagging again.
How often do we see? I know it's a poorer team, but how often do we see our forwards get so much space in the area? They don't. They run to the defenders.
I mean, to be fair, though, you have to admit it's really poor defending. I bet it's really poor defending. I mean, he's left on his own completely. But it's good movement, a good finish.
What's how opens his body up as well? Like the composure as well.
Yeah, very good composure.
Yeah.
I think we can relax now, boys.
Feet up.
Yeah, I think we can relax.
No,
They're going to get another 14 goals.
Anything can happen. We still lose 5-4.
Just a highlight again now. Nice finish.
Yeah, Balogun.
It was a nice finish.
Gary saying in the chat, Balogun, 1 goal, 1 assist. Laka, Eddie, pack your bags. 4-1, Balogun is too good for the Premier League, so he has to sit out on Sunday.
He's too good.
Sit out.
We don't want him to get above his station now, do we? So let's just put him back a peg or two.
God forbid he might help us to win a game, but no, he can't play.
We've got to give Burnley a fair crack of the whip. You know, can't play him.
We don't want to be scoring goals and all that sort of nonsense.
Goals? What are goals?
Exactly, yeah.
In the Premier League sense, anyway.
He's up until now. I thought Mari would look really, really good and solid again. That was just.
Yeah, I do. I actually was going to say that before. I thought we'd had a good game. Looked strong.
I really like him. He's got really good pass on him as well. He's obviously just switched off there, which is a shame.
Sean's also saying in the chat, looks like Arteta was considering fast-tracking some of these youngsters. It's easier to coach youngsters that players that are set in their ways.
I would much, much, much rather watch these every week than most of the first team at the moment. Play with some freedom, play with some pride. You know,
I'm not going to man when he's down, but I'd rather see this Cedric play on Sunday.
Yeah, I would as well.
He probably
they
won't.
Need to learn that they need to all fight for their places, and if they're not delivering, they need to be replaced. And it's the only way they're going to get any better. You know, try and fight their way back into the first.
How old is this? How old is he? 18, 19?
18.
Wow.
He's only just, I think, as well. Literally just turned 18.
This is easy. Oh, sorry, I'm on a different time frame. But I saw that turn. It was lovely. That turn away from the midfield run in, it was lovely.
Yeah, really smart, wasn't it? Really composed. Confident.
He's demanding the ball as well, which is quite nice to see.
Yep. He's, that's what I mean. He was brilliant on... he's been brilliant all season, really.
Got a nice foul there.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Yeah. Come on, lads. Come on. Bang in another. Make it 5-2.
Aziz looks better than Xhaka already, says Mark in the chat.
Maybe all forward on the red shirt, Xhaka, Aziz.
I'm not even. I don't even know whether that comment was supposed to be tongue in cheek, but I would have him every day of the week ahead of Xhaka. Every day. What would you rather watch? You know, someone that's got good, like that, exciting, good on the ball, can run.
Oh, we got only 3 men offside from this free kick.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But also, Steve's in the chat saying Cottrell looks about 12.
No.
Yeah. Oh yes. 5.
No, offside.
It's unlucky. He's had a decent game as well, considering it's hardly played for a year. Chambers, isn't he? Didn't really put my foot wrong, did he?
Played Cedric.
And the good thing about the other good thing about Aziz is have you heard the there's an interview that he did with Gabriel Marcotti, and such a determined guy. He's got so much ambition. He said, "I'm not going to stop until I become the best in my position in the world." And the way he speaks is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's got a similar sort of attitude to Martinelli and stuff like that. They're determined to become one of the best. So that's what I like about him as well.
Would you play Martinelli a sub on Sunday? Just put him a sub.
A bit too soon.
No, I'll
probably.
give him another run out. I'll give him another couple of run outs in the under 23s first, if I'm honest. The last thing we want to do is put him back.
I'm not saying to play him definitely, but you know, a 10-minute run out if need be.
I would rather play someone like Balogun who's fully fit. You know, I'd just ease Martinelli back in a bit because I couldn't bear the thought of him, you know, breaking down again like what happened to Partey.
Oh,
just I don't know where I'll cope.
So Balogun's done a job, hasn't he?
Cedric.
nuts.
Oh, he looks the business, yeah.
Balogun has done a job. Last game he comes in and scores on his first touch, and this game he comes in and scores again. I mean, what else can he do to show Arteta?
The thing is, what I like
got
about
2 goals in 40 minutes.
I like his hold-up play.
Yeah.
Also, the
2 goals in 40 minutes.
Yeah. 2 goals in 40 minutes is impressive. Very impressive.
Oh, I'll tell you something. He's got some moves, this Aziz, I'm telling you. He's got a couple of moves. Oh, that was poor. Cottrell's having a mare. He's having a night one.
Oh, come on, Ben. That's a shame. I feel sorry for that lad because he's a good player as well.
Yeah, it's just not happening for him tonight, isn't it?
No, it's not. I don't want to make excuses either, but that pitch is awful. It's literally cut up to bits now as well. But no, he's having a mare, which is a real shame for him. But Aziz, he's the real deal.
He looks like it. Now I know it's a poor team, blah blah blah, but he's made the step up now to the first team against a very poor team, and he looked quite good, didn't he? The touches, the movement.
He did.
He
only had 8 minutes.
Russ.
Just maybe a couple of players might affect selection. Nelly taking it off. Nketiah were both taken off after 60.
He looks like a puppet out of Thunderbirds or something, doesn't he, old Keown now? No? Those glasses.
brains.
No, of course not. I think Arsenal have a genuine chance of winning this competition.
Yeah, Mulder have qualified for the next round as well.
Sets it and spins. Just think he's one of those players that I think he just gives them something different. And I just he was really good to watch today. Brilliant. What about Dundalk? Blue, we know that it's a difficult time for them. 14 of those.
Owen Hargreaves looks like he should be working in an art gallery or something.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Really well.
They had a decent run out, haven't they, for the lads? So.
Yeah.
And Balogun is showing he can be given a chance, I think.
Yeah, he can make that step up if given. Yeah, he will give us something if he's given the chance. Yeah.
Imagine Balogun and Martinelli. Balogun, Martinelli, and Saka up front. That'd be amazing.
Or Aziz behind him with all his skills. Look, imagine Aziz coming in there.
He's in the midfield as well. Yeah.
Well, he's a deep line midfielder, Aziz. He's not like he's not a box to box. He's more of a playmaker at the back, really, and more defensive. But he's got such a good pass on him as well. Really, really good range of passing. He'll be such a good player's blood into the team as well.
Imagine that him partnering either El Neni or Partey going full time as well. The way he's played for a few minutes, it's still.
What let him down previously was his actual defensive work, and his tackling and really stuck in. But he's come on in leaps and bounds this last sort of few months. He's so much better at that now. He's not the finished article by any means, but he's not going to get that until he gets more experience. And he moved up really quickly from the under 18s to the under 23s. But he's basically looking too good for the under 23s already as well. So he really should be playing more of a part in the first team. And the good thing is they are doing that. I mean, he's training now with the first team every day. So I'm not one of these people that think that age should hold players back. I think that if you've got something special.
Who was it that said? Well, if you're old enough, if you're good enough, you're old enough. He basically said, wasn't it?
Yeah,
if you're good
exactly.
enough, you're old enough.
Yeah. I believe in that completely. I really do. You can spot the ones that have got that little bit extra. You know, the real quality, the X Factor players. And when you've got some of those, you need to hold on to them for dear life and put faith in them. I'm not saying I overplay them and all that sort of stuff, but you've got to start integrating them quickly because in this day and age, they could be. I mean, we've not got Balogun. He literally, in a few weeks' time, can negotiate to leave on a free in January. And that sort of thing. I mean, that is not down to the club. That is down to what Arsene Wenger predicted, that it will be happening more and more and more because of the Bosman ruling, and people can earn more money by leaving on a free. And he predicted it probably over 10 years ago, didn't he? 10, 15 years ago, Arsene Wenger, and it's all come true. But we need, if we're getting him, apparently he's changing his mind, so we need to get him tied down. And the only way you do that with these young players is to play them. And we cannot afford to lose players like that.
True.
We've got a question before you got things up. We've got a question here from. I've got to try and play next first, but Ali, guys got a question. Who would be your best 11 of all time? You don't need to answer if you don't want to.
Of Arsenal players, I take it.
We'll go for Arsenal this time. Yeah, for an all-time outside of Arsenal, I'll do for another stream over the weekend or something on Sunday. But yeah, for Arsenal-wise, we'll do Arsenal now. Yeah.
Do you want me to go first, or?
Yeah, you can go first. Yeah.
I mean, I might make mistakes. I might forget someone, but it's just off the top of my head. I'll go David Seaman in goal. Left back, I'm sorry to say, Ashley Cole.
Yeah.
What happened afterwards, when he was at Arsenal, he was the best player in the world in his position. Right back, it's quite a tough one, actually. Quite a tough one at right back. Because when I first started watching, Viv Anderson was incredible at right back. Really, really good. But then you obviously got Lee Dixon, who had the longevity in his career. I'll have to go with Dixon. But special honourable mention to Lauren and, as I said, Viv Anderson. Centre back, it's got to be Adams and Campbell at the back.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to do a 4-4-2. Right midfield, David Rocastle, my favourite player of all time. Left wing, I would have to go Pires. Central midfield.
Excuse me.
This is my favourites. I'm saying they're the best ever, but my favourite have to be Vieira and Wilshere in the middle of the park. I was so excited about Jack Wilshere when he came through. Such a shame what happened to him.
He was amazing.
So talented. So talented. I was so proud of him. God, for him to come through and literally, he could have been one of the best English midfielders we've ever seen. I'm not even joking. That good.
No, it's just a shame he got that injury. Well, all those injuries basically, but he had a few.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and up front,
He did. Sean, he did mention Rocky on the right side.
I did. Yeah, he's my first name on the team sheet. David Rocastle, literally. It's got to be up front, Ian Wright and Dennis Bergkamp. And clearly Henri, but I'm talking about how players make me feel and how much I love them. And as much as I do love Henri, I think there was that extra special feeling about Ian Wright when he was playing for us, and he's such a good finisher. I mean, what a finisher!
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's been my all-time 11, just off the top of my head, about players that I loved.
Well,
Good choices.
Brownie's a good Limpar fan in the chat.
Yeah, Limpar was a great player.
I should have said that. I should have said a special honourable mention to Limpar. But I mean, I absolutely adored Anders Limpar as well, and Brian Marwood back in the day. But for a season or so, he was on fire. But you cannot say. I mean, Pires was just out of this world on that left side. I mean, God, imagine like having Pires and Ljungberg in this day and age, where they used to regularly score, say, 15 goals each a season from midfield.
Yeah.
I mean, plus obviously all the assists. 30 goals a season just between two wingers. I mean, it's just you can't even begin to think how much would benefit from that nowadays. It's just mad. We were so blessed to have these players. It's just I never took it for granted, and that's a good thing. I distinctly remember saying I was sat. I was in the North Bank in when was it? Late 90s. I can't remember what 97. I think it was. It was just when not long into the Wenger era, and the football I was watching. I remember saying to myself and my mate, I'm not going to ever take this for granted. And this was really early days of Wenger. So I'm not going to take this for granted because all the crap I went through and watching Arsenal under Terry Neal and stuff like that. It was really bad. And I couldn't believe what I was watching at that point. Because, I mean, it got given an honourable mention to Petit. I loved watching him in midfield as well. Really grateful. Kenny Santon.
Yeah, poor guy.
Incredible left back, and what a sad news we've had about him this week. He was brilliant. Great left back. Do you know what as well? Paul Davis. How can I not get Paul Davis in there?
Paul Davis, Mickey Thomas. Oh dear. What was it?
How can I miss out Paul Davis? I haven't got enough space. I'm going to have to do a sub bench, aren't I? As well.
It's a good idea for a show, actually. Just do a show that get a few of us on and just compare, do our own teams and then do one vast one with them players. And at the same time, have a little discussion about the players and what they did and the honourable mention and all that.
Paul Davis, right, would be probably one of the best midfielders in his position in Europe at the moment, if he was around now at his peak. He was a sensational player. He was a proper, what you call box-to-box, in days when you could get tackled from behind, kicked to left, right and centre, not even get a yellow card. He went through all that, the terrible 80s where, there's a load of racism about. He used to get so much grief. And he came through it all, And that's what is so, I would absolutely do anything to find out what Glenn Cockrell said to him that day, because that was so out of character for Paul Davis when he broke his jaw, and he got that ended his pretty much ended his England career immediately. What did he get? 9 games at the time for doing that, but that was not Paul Davis. He took everything. Anyway, so Paul Davis has got to go on the bench. Steve Bold got to go on the bench because he was a brilliant defender. He was. I absolutely loved him. So really underrated. And I'll probably have Keown on the bench as well, maybe, because he was brilliant. Definitely Limpar as well.
I mean, Sean in the chat saying, remember the telepathy between Rocky and Michael Thomas as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Did I say Kenny Sanson on the bench?
Yeah, because you mentioned Samson, yeah.
There's so many going around in my head. I just don't want to miss that obvious one.
There's a few here from John. He's mentioned Overmars, Perez, Parda, Lundberg. Alan Smith's been mentioned as well by Brownie.
Brilliant. Again, absolutely underrated striker. In fact, I probably would have Alan Smith. I used to love, still love Alan Smith, but I think I would actually have him on the bench. So under, I mean, three golden boots, winning goal in our only major. Well, it's not our only. We've got the Fairs Cup as well, which is it's our only proper European final that we've won. Great goal scored. Probably have him up front. But you got there's too many. Ray Parlour. How can you leave out Ray Parlour?
Yeah.
As well, what a great player. I mean, he is the epitome of what we needed on the pitch again on Sunday. He would literally run through a brick wall for Arsenal. He would do anything. He give his last ounce. You can imagine Ray Parlour playing through the pain barrier and literally having to leave the pitch on his hands and knees. He wouldn't leave a thing on the pitch. He would just give everything. So, oh God. There's too many. I mean, like a goalkeeper. One goalkeeper I absolutely loved was, and I still love, is Szczesny. I probably have him on the bench as a sub goalkeeper. He was one of these, foreign players that came in and just became a gooner, didn't he? He's still a gooner now. He's like, he got it straight away. To be what it's like.
Well, he came at a young age, didn't he? He came in for the youth, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Fabregas. And as much as people, absolutely despise him now, when you saw the best of Van Persie as well, even. He's just an outstanding player that he scored. I mean, what? I wouldn't put him in just because of what happened afterwards, but he's one of our greatest forward generation, really. I mean, he got, I don't know.
One of the most gifted players as well of this current generation. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, another career that was. Imagine if he didn't have the injuries he had, and we had not just a 1.5, 2 good seasons of his prime. Imagine if we had like the 4 or 5 that we could have had out of him. That could have been a difference easily of us winning another league.
Camper Cat and also in the media saying Arsenal keep conceding goals. We did concede a goal tonight, but the main thing tonight was we won. We kept, obviously, the European side of things, we won tonight. Obviously, we need to fucking sort that in the league, but that's another matter. I mean, there's other mentions, Mark Overmars as well.
Overmars was just frightening. I mean, to be fair, though, he wasn't with us for long, and it took him quite a while to get going. He didn't hit the ground running, Overmars. It took him quite a while. So we probably, how long was he with us? About 8, wasn't he with us for 2 years?
He left in he left after Euro 2000, not Euro 2000, after the UEFA Cup in 2000.
Maybe 3. Maybe it was 3. I don't think he's much more than 3 years.
Something like that.
But yeah, he was just electric, wasn't he? And absolutely one of the fastest players I've ever seen in my life on the football pitch. But I don't know.
Sam, what about yourself?
All-time 11.
I think I've must have named.
Yeah, I'll just go off the top of my head, basically, players that I've sort of really liked.
I'm clearly missing people.
Because, you can sit all day, can't you, and go through all the greats and everything, but...
Yeah. The only one I may sort of swap, which is sounds mad from my initial 11, because I think they come to me very, very quickly, those players, but just on personal feeling and because of the time that I spent growing up and falling in love with Arsenal, is whether I would swap Vieira for Paul Davis because of the way he made me feel back in my youth. But clearly, Vieira was an overall much better player.
Liam Brady as well.
Yeah, but I wasn't lucky enough to properly see him live. He'd left. I started supporting him when I was 7, which was 1980, properly, and left the season the end of that season. I think it was. So I wasn't lucky enough to actually watch him, but he was a brilliant player. I wish I could have seen him more.
Sorry, Sam, you were going to give your solo team as well.
Yeah, so based on my experience, really, and I don't go back as far as Andrew, but when I was growing up, players I grew up with and cherished that going up through until recently. I mean, my 11 again. There are players, of course, that I'm going to be missing out that I could choose. It's really, really hard to pick an 11, isn't it? But just based on what I'm thinking right now, on players that I really loved watching and had a big impact, I would say. Well, first of all, I think David Seaman, is the one. I think you have to go back a long time if you're going to start challenging him. My right back is probably going to be Lee Dixon, because I just thought he was fantastic. When I started to watch Arsenal. My left back is going to be Ashley Cole. I know he turned into a twat, but my God, how fantastic he was before that whole, Chelsea rubbish. My 2 centre backs again here. There's lots of good choices, but for me, it's got to be Tony Adams and Sol Campbell. Just because Tony Adams, best captain we've probably ever had, one of the best players we've ever had, and Sol Campbell, just what an amazing, athletic, powerful player, and what an addition he was to our team when we managed to get him. Midfield, the 2, I'm going to go 4-4-2 basically, just keep it classic. So the 2 in midfield, Vieira, I just can't go beyond him because he's one of the iconic players in my time. So I just can't go beyond him. His partner in midfield, again, here, this is where it gets very difficult because there's so many good choices. But for me, I'm going to have to go with Fabregas, just because of how incredible he was. A young age, exploded on the scene, influential. Pulled the strings from midfield. What an amazing player, from a very young age as well. Just amazing. Left wing, I have to go for Overmars. I know he wasn't with us long, but the guy was just amazing for me. That speed, that power, how influential he was in that short period of time when he played well, at Old Trafford and all that. No one could beat him on that left side. He was just completely, he would scare the crap out of any defender. No defender could match him at all. No right-sided defender had a chance against him. I think every right-sided defender pissed their pants every night before meeting him. Then on the right-hand side, this is where it gets tricky for me because there's a few really good alternatives there on the right-hand side. I know Parler is a great choice for me as well, just because he was just such a solid workhorse and so underrated for what he did. I know Perez is really left-sided and that, again, another great player. For me, I just loved him so much. For me, he's got to be Ljungberg. The way, that guy came from Sweden. He came from Sweden, from Halmstad in Sweden. Not a top club in Sweden, like a pretty decent, not great club in Sweden. And basically he comes in and lobs Fabian Barthez, doesn't he?
First game,
yeah.
It's incredible. And I've never seen a player time runs into the box like he could. The way he timed those runs, all those goals he got, he was so intelligent with those runs, and he got so many goals from doing that. What a fantastic, smart, intelligent player, and right character as well. With all his coloured hair and all that. But he loved Arsenal, and he was, he really fought for Arsenal as well. So I've got to have Ljungberg there on the right hand side, and then top, the 2 strikers again. How many choices are there? There's so many good choices. But for me, it's got Henry. Henry's the man for me, the ultimate man in my time for Arsenal. So I could never ever drop him. And for me, again, I'm going to have to go a bit nostalgic. There's many I could go next to him, but it's going to be Ian Wright. Because Ian Wright was my first, let's say, player I really, really loved to watch before, the later players came. Before the Wenger era, basically. Ian Wright, I loved watching Ian Wright. Wow. His finishing. And I still now enjoy, every now and again, I'll go on YouTube and watch a highlight reel, an Ian Wright highlight reel, just to see some of the goals he scored. And some of those goals he scored were absolutely incredible. The way he engineered them and, set himself up. And he had a nose for goal and a natural finish, unrivaled, absolutely incredible player. And again, so underrated in terms of international level and that. I mean, hardly ever used for England. He was always, like with Arsenal players, are always bloody, those favourites, weren't there, against us? So many Arsenal players never got to play that many international games for England that should have. And so Ian Wright was one of them, basically. But what a player! What a guy as well, what a character. Look at him now. He lives and breathes the club, doesn't he? The way he helps the club all the time and involved and all that. What a fantastic guy as well. And so that's my team. That's that 4-4-2 there is what I've got to go with. And there's so many other players there as well. But that's just what I went for.
Sean looks on the screen now. It's the same as mine, apart from Armstrong, isn't it?
So Sean's gone for Seaman, Dixon, Adams, Campbell, Cole, Patrick Vieira, Rocky, Perez, Armstrong, Bergkamp, and Righty. This is off saying, sorry, Henry, can't forgive you for what you did against Ireland.
See, that's the thing, Bergkamp. You see, but it was a real struggle for me between Wright and Bergkamp. It's just Wright was he was there before Bergkamp for me. So it's just, and then after Bergkamp, it comes Henry, and I was like, oh no, it's so difficult. If I had a 4-3-3 or something like that, it would be different. But
how can you leave out? I've left out Henry. It's the greatest ever goal scorer of all time. I loved Henry. It's just that it's an emotion, though, isn't it? As well, it's how players you feel attached to players, which is why I had to choose Ian Wright. But my favourite player of all time, like I said, most all-round complete player. I miss to this day. I think about him every day. It sounds really weird, but David Rocastle. I can't get over how much I loved David Rocastle. When I was a kid, he was my absolute idol. I loved everything about him. And, you have to leave out so many players. It's just, there's so many that you could choose, really. But the best player I've seen, without a shadow of a doubt, is Dennis Bergkamp. He's the best player, I believe, in my own opinion, that's ever played for Arsenal. With his overall technical quality, he's just it's just incredible to watch. He's just like, there's nothing he can do with the football. It was just beautiful. It was actually beautiful football when Dennis Bergkamp played. He was just so technically gifted. It's just incredible. But when you choose your best 11s, it's about it's a feeling as well with some of them. It's not just who you think is the absolute best quality, which is why when people will go, who's the best player of all time? And who's the better at? And Ronaldo and Messi. There's no answer because for me, I don't go about who's got the greatest stats. Because if you go by stats, Ronaldo is the greatest player in the history of football, basically. If you're going by what's on paper written down. But the football is not about that for me. It's about watching it with your eyes and how a player makes you feel when you're watching them play. That's what football is for me. So there's no answer to who's the greatest of all time. It's who you think, because it's all based on opinion. So it's just pointless having an argument about it. And for me, I think probably the best player I've ever seen in my entire life probably is Maradona, but he's not my favourite player of all time. But but he's probably one of the best players that there ever has been, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, there's so many different choices, and there's no right or wrong answers, which is the greatest thing about football. You know, you can talk about it all day, and you'll never get bored because there's so much to talk about. So,
it's about feelings, isn't it? Like feelings, you said, and emotions, and that, and you know, the Brazilians. There's so many good players, the Brazilians, and you know, the Brazilians are sort of regarded as the most skillful players and all that, and they have that saying, and they call it they call it the beautiful game, and the love of the game, or whatever they call it in Brazilian. They have this saying, you know, that it's football's like a love. You know, you have to love what you do. You love what you're doing when you're playing football, and it's like you say, it's an emotion, you know. And in terms of greatest players, I'll tell you right now, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, they couldn't polish Maradona's shoes, mate. They just couldn't polish his shoes.
No. Incredible.
Because what Maradona was doing was back in a time when players could kick lumps out of you and you didn't get a yellow card, you know?
Absolutely. That pitch we played on tonight was
regular for him. That was regular.
Well, no, that'd be good for him. You know, some of them were.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's a one-man team. It's a one-man team.
Sums him up. Do you know what sums him up? Everyone's seen recently, since he passed away, is that 3-4 minute videos when he's doing the warm-up in front before an actual professional football match. And his warm-up was when he was doing all those keepy uppies, dancing at the same time to that music going on in the background.
Yeah,
that is what football should be about. You know, that sums football up to me, and that is why he's the greatest for me, because it's just phenomenal. You know, in the way that the ball became part of him almost. You know, it just he could do anything he wanted.
Well, you just saw the way he dribbled around teams, didn't he? He dribbled the whole England team.
He loved football. Absolutely, it's the only place he felt happy was on the football pitch, wasn't it? Really, and you know, you could tell that it just showed. But in that clip, it sums it all up. Really, that warm up, and that's why I think he's the greatest player of all time. You know, for me, Messi. Outstanding, incredible, whatever. You know, you can use all the words possible, but he hasn't got any personality as far as I'm concerned. He doesn't. I don't warm to him at all, and I don't warm to Ronaldo. I think he's a real arrogant twat. But
they both play in a time, but they both play in a time when they're so protected as well. You know, if you touch them, they go over, they get free kick, get yellow cards. They're protected. You know, there's no real physical play today compared to back then. You know,
no personality in either of them, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, that as well, of course. You know,
nothing you can warm
fantastic.
To. Nothing you can warm to, and Maradona had that bad side as well as the good side, and he had a real personality, whether you like it or not, and he made him special as far as I'm concerned. You know,
well,
you like it. Yeah, I mean,
what he did at Napoli was second to none, wasn't it? I mean, he took basically a second-rate Serie A team, and you look at the teams he played against. You got the AC Milan team with Rijkaard, Gullit van Basten, you know, Baresi. You got that team. You got the Juventus team as well, and basically, you know, with Platini in it towards the end of his career, but still there, and you know, and. You know, he just comes in and now he bosses it, and basically as a one-man team, they win the Serie A ahead of AC Milan and Juventus. I mean, it's absolutely what he did there is incredible.
It was the equivalent of a player coming in from abroad at a young age and joining Crystal Palace and getting in to win the league twice.
Exactly, it's influential.
Never won that, or a team around that sort of. You know, mid to lower part of the table that have never won the Premier League. It's equivalent of that, basically, what he did at Napoli. And they've never done it since. And that says it all, really.
No, exactly.
Twice. And no one can say he virtually, didn't single-handedly win the World Cup for Argentina as well.
Oh, that's what in '86, that was his year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He did that with Napoli the season after.
And that's why you can't argue with Ronaldo. That's why you can't argue about Ronaldo because of what he's done for every club he's played for now. And he's frozen again. Oh, okay. You hear me? He did the same for Portugal at the Euros as well, didn't he?
Yeah. And he won it for Portugal, yeah. And he still. And remember he had to come off injured, and he was the coach at the end as well. He was coaching as well. Remember, he was the manager.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why, honestly, on paper, he is, I believe, the greatest footballer of all time. When you work out all of his achievements, it's staggering. But football, like I said, it sounds like a real bad cliche, but football isn't played on paper, is it? And that's not what football should be about. It's about the whole package, and how they make you feel when you watch them.
Well, I just agree. I just agree with you on Ronaldo. If you're looking at Ronaldo versus Messi, I just agree with you because I do agree with you because Ronaldo, for me, he's just done more than Messi. He's just done more. He's done it. He's done it in several leagues. He's done it with the national team. Messi still hasn't done it with Argentina, has he? I mean, Ronaldo's done it for Portugal, won the Euros in Portugal, actually won them the Euros. And, it's just a different level for me, really, overall. And he can also head the ball. The guy's an amazing header as well. Messi's not really good on his head, so he's got that dimension to it as well. But anyway, he's a fantastic player.
Exactly. But there's far more people, I would bet, and I'm literally guessing this, and so I'm probably wrong, but I would guess that more of a percentage would say that Messi is the better player, simply because he was born a brilliant player, if you know what I mean. It's natural. It's like a Maradona type of skill that he was born into. Whereas I think that Ronaldo wasn't. Clearly, he was born a brilliant player, but he has worked harder. Much harder to get to where he is because it's not quite so natural.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Which is far more respectable. Which is far more respectable in lots of ways.
Oh, he's worked hard. He's worked really hard.
It's not as beautiful on the eye on the pitch, if you know what I mean. As a Messi, like the way that he moves and glides, and he's more aesthetically pleasing when you watch him play. Which is why I think. Probably, and as I say, I'm guessing, but more people probably towards Messi.
Well, yeah,
but for me, neither of them compare to Maradona because of the way that he loved the game and he had the personality to match. So
and he played at a time when players were doing everything they could to injure him, and he still managed to get around him and influence a whole division. So I mean. That just shows you how incredible he was.
He never ever rolled around on the floor either, like holding his face or anything. He got up and carried on. Yeah. People just literally watch some of the tackles that he used to face. He literally flew through the air, didn't he? Literally went flying.
Oh yeah. Literally
madness.
Actually,
he was just a one-off. Really was a one-off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you got Pele as well, which we haven't discussed, but he's got his record where he virtually won 2 World Cups, carrying the money shot. But then again, you look at you mentioned earlier that Brazil, like in the 82, when it was that Paolo Rossi game when it was Italy 3, Brazil 2, where Rossi got the hat-trick. And it's one of the best games I've ever seen in my life. And that Brazil team, I mean, I absolutely loved them. And we after that game and stuff, in that World Cup, we used to go down the park, me and my mates, and we used to try and do all the flicks and tricks that the Brazil team were doing. I remember Socrates did I think it's like a rainbow flick, where he just flicked it up with his feet and it went over his head. And he just sort of trapped it and carried on, sort of thing. And we spent days and days trying to recreate that down the park. Absolutely loved that Brazil team as well. And they underachieved, unfortunately.
Well, one of the first.
So good to watch.
One of the first. I mean, I started watching TV on telly where I actually understood what I was watching. Right about 91, 92, about 92, just about the start of the Premier League. And so my first World Cup, and that's another thing someone said to me the other day, and I don't know who it was, but they said, your first I think it was Brownie.
Probably Brownie.
I think it was Brownie said, your first World Cup is always the most special. The first one you remember is the most special as a spectator, watching on TV, whatever. And I must agree, because the first World Cup I saw was the one in America in '94. And yes, you can say it wasn't maybe the best World Cup, from a neutral perspective and blah, blah, blah. But it was the first one I saw in its entirety on TV. And I'll tell you what, that Brazilian team, I loved watching them. They were incredible to watch, that Brazilian team in the '94 World Cup with Bebeto and Romario up top, and you had Dunga. Dunga is best.
I'll just say one thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear something that makes you feel really, really old? Bebeto's son now plays for our team in Portugal, and it's the one that where he did that in that World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
You're on about?
Yeah.
He wasn't even. He was just born then, and he's now playing professional football in Portugal.
Yeah, amazing.
How old does that? I mean, literally, that's where that came from. Anyway, sorry to put in.
No, listen. I listen. That's great, because I do, like you say, I remember that famous celebration. Amazing, and it was that was the first time I really got my eyes on Brazil, because everyone's talking about Brazil. They're the best. Fantastic. And I remember watching it. I was like, yeah, these guys really are good. And what a team they had, and they, they had Italy and all that. But yeah.
For me, I mean, I know you're too young for it, but if you ever got a loose end and you want to have a look at that '82 Brazil team,
I'll look it up.
There's no comparison. Some of the players like Zico and Socrates, the real Socrates.
Yeah. Was Plato playing for Greece?
It's just honestly, they were like
Aristoteles.
For me, they were like the Harlem Globetrotters of football.
Yeah, I've heard about that team. I haven't had the pleasure of seeing them. I do want to definitely. I will definitely get around to doing it though, because I want to see that. Definitely.
But the weird thing is, because I do remember watching that '82 World Cup. And I do, the one I really remember as well is the '86, obviously, the Maradona.
Mexico, yeah.
But the worst, and for me, that's still the greatest. But like you said, I was old enough to really get submerged into it. But the 1990, every English person really got, one of the greatest World Cups of all time for the England team and that. It was actually one of the worst World Cups I've ever seen, 1990. Apart from like the England run to the semi-final, which everyone remembers in this country, obviously. But the actual overall World Cup, I think it was actually really, really crap. People have got wrong memories. I think it was the lowest number of goals scored in a World Cup.
That's what it was. Yeah, I think it was very, very low number of goals. Yeah, I think you're right about that one. Yeah.
It was. I mean, it's the only. Everyone looks back on it fondly because of World in Motion and New Order. John Barnes rapping and England getting to the final, and that makes you think it was a great World Cup, but it actually wasn't. It was rubbish.
I remember people say that. You're not the only person who says that 90 was a bad one from a neutral perspective. Yeah.
96 Euro 96 was my favourite tournament.
That was magic, wasn't it? That was magic.
That was because of the where I was in my life at that point. I was literally on the final 2 months after it finished. I was flying off to go travelling for a couple of years around the world, and I was excited about that. It was a beautiful, beautiful hot summer, if you remember, and every single pub was packed with people, all seemingly in a brilliant mood at the same time.
Yeah.
The whole country was in a good mood that summer, and it was a beautiful summer weather-wise.
If only Gaza ate fewer pies and drank fewer beers, he could have got his toe on the end of that cross in the semi-final. In the semi-final against Germany.
I know. That was so sad. But apparently, we had in the semi-final in 1990, we had a perfectly good goal disallowed. Do you remember? Do you have any recollection of that? David Platt scored a goal which was ruled offside, which wasn't offside.
See, there's no VAR then. There's no VAR.
Why is that? Yeah, but why is that not talked about more often?
Because it gets forgotten, doesn't it?
Why? I mean, no one even mentions it. No one mentions that, did they?
No.
To this day, I completely, I will stand firm on the fact that is not offside. It was a perfectly good goal, and it was disallowed. We should have won. We should have gone through. Mad, absolutely mad, and we would have won that World Cup. We seriously, we would have won that World Cup. I reckon we would have won the final.
It's like penalties. We're terrible at penalties, aren't we? That's the way it's been, isn't it? Terrible at penalties. Same in the Euros. But that's mate. I remember watching the Euros on TV again. It was magic, absolutely magic. And that game against Scotland was that goal Gascoigne scored against Scotland. Wow, what a goal! Fantastic.
It was just the whole country was in the whole atmosphere in the whole country brilliant, wasn't it?
Wembley was its finest. You know, Wembley Stadium had its finest then in the lovely summer heat and all that. And then, you know, football was really good. England was playing really good football. And I remember Seaman, I've always been I used to play goalkeeper when I played football. And I was always a big Seaman fan. And, you know, I mean, what he did that summer, you know, the penalties he saved and that, he was just immense. He was in that Euros.
Just fantastic. Yeah, just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That penalty save from Gary McAllister.
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic. That colourful, remember the kit he had on as well. Everyone was like, how horrible it is. But I actually quite liked it. You know, it looked quite good.
Yeah.
Well, this one.
That's it, yeah. And there wasn't like a pink one or something like that.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
The 82 England kits, 82 World Cup, were the best that we've ever had, and we should go back to them. I'm not even when we had the stripes across the shoulders, you know that one, and the away one was actually probably my favourite England kit ever. It was red, and it was the same, but it was red with those stripes across the shoulders.
Right.
And I just think, I wish England, because you know there's like a real sort of, you know, a resurrection of retro kits now, and even like the Arsenal one last season was based on one from the 90, was it 91, I believe. It was sort of loosely based on that, wasn't it? And you know, going back to the old Adidas roots. And I just wish England would do that as well, because that kit was outstanding. I reckon, really good. But anyway, it's just nice to talk about some good football, isn't it, for a change?
Yeah, we just went off on one, didn't we? We went down memory lane, didn't we, for about an hour? So that was good.
Apart from the Europa League games we've had this season, there's not a lot to talk about, really, is there? It's quite depressing. But I don't want Arteta to fail more than anything. I really don't.
No one wants him to fail.
Don't.
No one wants him to fail.
Well, there's loads of people that are slating him already and they want him out. Right, we've all seen it. I can't get to that stage, but I can't deny I've got so many concerns that are really, really, really worrying me, and I just don't see. Once you're in this tailspin, I don't see many examples of turning that around from anyone, apart from maybe the guy that if the worst was to happen, this is the guy I wanted, and I put it on Twitter the other day, but Ralph Hasenhüttl, from Southampton.
I can see that. Yeah.
He's the only guy that I can think of that has brought a situation that was so bad and turned it around and made the whole thing even better than before. The job he's done that can't be understated. He's
a very, very talented manager. Very talented manager.
Do you know what? I watched. Well, to be fair, I watch any team apart from Arsenal now, and I'm jealous at the moment. Even Fulham, when they played against Leicester the other week, even they played really, really quite nice and attractive and attacking football. I could not believe my eyes. I was like, what? That's Fulham, and why can't we play like that? But I'll tell you what now. One of my favourite teams to watch at the moment, for everything they do, is Southampton. They play brilliant football. And they've not even replaced the players that they've lost. You name a player that they've brought in that's any kind of money. They sold their best player in Højbjerg, and they've not replaced him. And they are playing really, really good football. Really good football. They work hard. They attack with real pace and direction. And when they attack in numbers. But they really, they've got everything sorted. And that's the best example I can see. Pretty much the only example actually that I could see of a manager turning around an amazingly shit situation and making it loads better and getting all the players with him. And they would run through brick walls for that manager, that Ralph Hasenhüttl. And if the worst were to happen, I would really want us to go for him, but I can't see it. But I think he would be ideal, absolutely ideal for us if there was, if we were going to make a replacement.
He's definitely one of the names out there for sure.
But honestly, I would so much rather go for someone like that than a Max Allegri or a Diego Simeone, because if you think the football we're watching now is baring, then I don't care what anyone says. Then give it a few weeks of Allegri or Simeone, you'll be wishing again back to the Wenger days. It'll be really boring. I don't want that. I don't want that for our club. I want attacking, quick, pacey football. Hitting teams hard and fast on the counter attack. That's what I loved. That we built up that reputation. That is why we can still attract Thomas Partey now because of that kind of football, because everyone relates Arsenal to that kind of football. But we are as far from that. We are as far from that as I've ever known, in my lifetime. We've gone right back to the boring Arsenal, but we're not winning games as a boring Arsenal 1-0. We are still losing and playing boring football. There's no substitute for me than watching and attacking football. If we lose, but we're playing really good attacking football, we lose to the better team, I've got no issue with it. And I can say that hand on my heart, genuinely. If we put every ounce of effort we've got in on the pitch and we go out and try and win the game, not contain the other team and try and stop them from scoring, but if we go and impose ourselves onto the opposition and we really go for it, but we end up losing, I don't mind. I can put up with that all the time because I'll still be proud of the team for the effort they've put in. But at the moment, I'm not proud of anything. I'm not attached to only a handful of players, and they're pretty much all youth players, like Martinelli, Saka, Emile Smith-Rowe. I don't care what anyone says. I do still like Eddie. I'm hoping that he comes good.
Andrew, I want to say something. I want to say something to you.
I'm affection for him. Yeah, but I'm not attached to any of the main players, even the manager. I just love Arsenal.
Yeah,
and I want.
First, isn't it?
I just want to enjoy watching Arsenal, and at the moment, apart from these games, I'm not enjoying it at all, and I'm really worried. I'm really, really worried.
No, the club comes first, isn't it? And the club comes first. It's always that's the major thing. We've got no loyalty to any manager or really any of the players. Really, it's the club that's the most important. That comes first. The club has to do what's best for the club. But when you're talking about those players, those young players, I know you're a real fan of Smith Rowe. And I just want to say, I've been a supporter of Smith Rowe all the time as well, because I remember seeing him when he first burst onto to the first team scene, and I just really like the way he plays. Really like the way he plays. I could see so much potential in him, and everyone else just kept slating him off. He's been injured and all this, but the guy needs a chance. He showed today. We need to give him a chance.
Mate, he's 20 years old. He's not like wet behind the ears anymore. And he's younger than a lot of the players that are across Europe that everyone's raving about, and even Szoboszlai. He's the same age, or if not older than Szoboszlai. And I'm not being funny, right? But everyone's going mad about him because he's having a great season. But a manager is giving him the opportunity to do that. I honestly, I would put my last penny on the fact that Smith Rowe could be even better than Szoboszlai. I ain't got that much belief in the kid. I remember him from 3 years ago. I started watching Smith Rowe. He made his debut, I'm sure it was 3 years ago, when he was 17.
Yeah, I remember seeing it as well.
I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but one thing I'm good at is spotting talent in a player. I can see it very, very, very quickly. Yeah, and I think I don't know. I wish I'd become a scout when I was younger. I really did. One massive regret. I would have done anything. But I love watching individuals. I can see real talent in individual players, and which is a change. But people are raving about Saka. I genuinely believe that Smith Rowe is at least as good as Saka, talent-wise. Completely different type of player and different position. But I would say, with regards to when you can see of a future ceiling, they're on about a par for me, Saka and Smith Rowe. I think that Smith Rowe could be outstanding. Literally outstanding, an England player. And if we lose him, I will be so devastated. And I will. Yeah. I don't know. Do you know what? I've told this story before. When we sold Robin van Persie to Man United, I stopped. I think I couldn't bring myself to watch Arsenal for at least 2 to 2.5 seasons. I didn't watch any games. I was that pissed off that we basically sold the league for 20 million quid, 22 million. And it was just the final straw after selling a few other players in the meantime as well. And when we did that, I would have put up with selling him abroad, no problem. It would have hurt me, but if we'd sold him abroad, I could understand. But to sell him to Man United, it was a real statement that we'd given up, and we knew that it was like we were sticking up for ourselves to the bullies in the playground for so many years. But then one day we just given up and ended up just giving him the money without being, so we try and not be punched in the face, if you know what I mean. We just thought, we're not going to fight back anymore. And I was that devastated that I stopped watching the club I love for over 2 seasons, and I missed out on all that. And if we sold players like Smith Rowe now, or just let them go without giving him a fair crack of the whip, and it even goes with Balogun as well, but I think to a certain extent, Balogun is getting bad advice from his agent. I don't know whether it's all down to him. But if we don't give them a crack and we let these players go, I will feel similar to when I did when we sold Van Persie. I will be that upset, because what is the point in having a real Class A, or what it's called? Well, not Class A, that's something else entirely. Grade A academy. What's the point in having that and putting in all that hard work and producing these little gems to just squander them and let them go somewhere else and not even get top dollar? So if we lose a player like him, I would be devastated to a certain similar level as I was that day we sold Van Persie. So I've got loads of faith in the kid, and you can see the way he moves around the pitch. He's not a normal young player. He's not. He has got bags of talent, and I get so angry when people say, "No, he's not ready." No, he's not ready. He's a different level above. He deserves more of a chance because he's got that little extra something. I'm telling you, he's a better player than I love Joe Willock as well. He's got so many attributes that we haven't got in the senior players, and I still think he should be in and around the first team in the Premier League on the bench. And he's a great player to bring on with 20, 30 minutes left. He can cause some chaos on the pitch, and he does. And he saw again today. He had a really quiet, probably poor game for his standards in the Europa League, but he still scored because he was in the box. None of our current midfielders do that, apart from him and Smith Rowe. But everyone is crying out for us to go out and buy our. I know I would much rather give 6 months to Smith Rowe before shelling out.
That's what I've been saying. I've been saying that the whole time, but no one wants to do it.
It could be better. Smith Rowe could be better than our.
Exactly.
Our, sorry.
Exactly.
And we could
never know because we never give him a chance.
On it. We could spend 50 million quid on our, and that's another obstacle in the way of Smith Rowe giving a chance to prove himself. And it's not on. I mean, I'm not saying we've done it yet, but everyone is going out saying, no, we need to buy our because he had a great game against Man City in the Champions League. He's more proven. Well, I don't care. So everyone's got to start somewhere. He could even be better than Nawar. He could be better than Szoboszlai, but we will never know because unless he gets a good run in the first team.
Yeah, you never know because he never gets a chance. So, that's it, innit? Never gets a chance.
I really feel passionately about it because of the generation that I am. I was lucky enough to see Rocastle, Adams, Thomas, Ray Parler, and all the rest come through into the first team and grow together.
Yeah.
Because they all.
Thank you. I don't know.
Again, a lot of good points. A lot of good points were made. Yeah. And again,
I'm not saying that this group are going to be quite as good as that other group. I'm just saying this before I go because I'm going to go in a second anyway. But
things up
who knows? Who knows? Because we can see how close Maitland-Niles is with Smith Rowe, how Willock is with Smith Rowe, and Nketiah, and all of them together. They've known each other since about 8 or 10 years old, and you can't overstate how much that means when you're playing in a team. You will do anything for your mates when you're playing and you're that close. So I think I would do anything to see those guys play together rather than watching Xhaka and Willian every week. I'm telling you now, I can't take much more of watching those two players play for Arsenal at the moment.
And they're going to play on Sunday because they didn't play today, so they're playing Sunday.
Do you know what? I'm not writing off Willian just yet, but he needs to be sat down because he's not performing. So he needs to be taken out of the team. Hopefully he'll still come good because I don't think you can just drop off a cliff as quickly as he's apparently has. He, like I said, he was statistically one of the best players Chelsea had last season, and they did want to keep him. So he's not crap, but he's not performing, so he shouldn't be playing in the first team. So take him out for now. Hopefully he'll come good further down the line. But why isn't Nelson or someone else or Smith Rowe not playing in his place? I mean, it would just give everyone a lift. Crying out loud. Anyway, I'm sorry my rant's over. I wasn't. But you can see, it really matters to me. It really does. I just don't. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm going to stop talking now because I'm just ranting.
I agree with you completely. I just want to just quickly say before we wrap up that I agree with you completely, Andrew. This is something I've been saying on my shows for a while now, and everything, and I'm very. I think that a lot can be done by trying something different with this team, and that's something that Arteta's not doing. And that's one of the things I have as a big gripe with Arteta is he keeps doing the same thing again and again and again, expecting a different result, which we know is 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 a definition of insanity. But anyway, it's and the thing is, I say why not try some of these young kids, because you don't know if it's going to work or not until you try it. Because everyone say, "Oh no, that will never work. It'll dent their confidence. We won't play any better." Well, how the hell do you know? Have you got a crystal ball?
Look at Curtis Jones.
You know?
Look at Curtis Jones at Liverpool. He's taken to it like immediately. It's as if he's been in the team for ages. Look at that Lamptey, who's just going
from Brighton. Just burst on the scene. Yeah.
And look at the other. I mean, there's a number of other youngsters. Look at Mason Greenwood as well, Man United. Yeah. Look at there's so many examples of youngsters who've been shoved into the first team because of desperation at the moment, especially Liverpool, because of all the injuries they've had, and they look even better in some cases. I mean, they've not exactly their form hasn't dropped, has it?
Yeah,
they've taken to it. And
exactly, very good points. And that's what we need to do. We need to try something different, because what is happening now is not working. These players are just completely out of sorts, so we need to just change it and see if these different players, the youngsters, could just step up and show the same passion that they're showing in the Europa League. There's definitely more than what the first team players are showing. And just give them a chance. Give them a chance.
Do you know what it is? More than anything, probably, to do with Arteta, he's not being brave enough. He needs to be brave, and he needs to have the balls to drop these big players, especially the captain Aubameyang. That would deliver the right message across the whole squad.
Yeah.
No one's undroppable. That's what he needs to give that message out. No one is undroppable. No one is guaranteed a starting place from match to match at all. Yep. No matter who you are, if you don't perform, you're out of the team. And it will keep everyone on their toes. And that's what they need. And I wasn't even really joking earlier. It was a bit tongue-in-cheek, I must admit. But when I said I would have preferred almost for them to play the full team tonight against Dundalk as a punishment, and play the team that started against Rapid Vienna last Thursday, let them play Burnley. And that would be a massive, massive statement. It's pie in the sky. It would never happen. But that's sort of, it needs to happen, but in a obviously a more reduced way. But the top player, I think he should pick 2 or 3 really key players and drop them. Willian, Xhaka, Aubameyang. Willian, Xhaka, Aubameyang. Drop them out of the team on Sunday and put in 3 of the youngsters. And that would really send out the correct message. And do you know what? If he did that, I would forgive him if we ended up having a narrow loss or a draw. I actually, for the future of the club, I would put up with that, because that shows me that Arteta has got the bollocks to turn this around.
It's showing something, isn't it? It's showing something,
If he doesn't, and he picks Xhaka, Willian, and Aubameyang, clearly he's going to pick Aubameyang, but he doesn't deserve it at the moment. But he will. But I would be so proud, actually. I'd actually feel a bit of pride.
Yeah.
If he had the balls to do something like that, and drop and put in 3 youngsters, it'll make me really confident for the future that he is the right man.
Yeah, it would show his work. He's showing he's actually trying to do something, right, and not just doing the same thing and hoping for a different result, which is hopeless.
Yeah,
and just one more last point. I promise this is the last point, because I'm going to go. But if he's got, everyone knows that he wants to play 4-3-3, right? Now, I think he should be playing 4-3-3. Now, he went on to the Spanish media and said he's 5 or 6 players short, so he can't. That's bullshit. Get it installed now. Get it in. Well, he should have done it before now, but just get the whole team playing 4-3-3 now. We have got the players to do it. But they are, a few of them are some of the youngsters that we're enjoying watching. So put them in. And if they don't rise to the challenge, fair enough. But it doesn't mean that you can't play, and that whole squad can get used to playing the way that he wants, this system that he is so passionate about playing. So get it installed and get it amongst all the age groups and play the way you want to play, Mikel. Because you're never too far away from a transfer window to start replacing players one by one and strengthening the areas that need strengthening. But don't let it stop you from playing the way from now. Because who knows, 3 or 4 youngsters that have to come in to play to the way, to the style that suits him, they may well just take off and just run with it and become outstanding players quickly. They might surprise us and go the way of Curtis Jones or Lamp T or one of the other ones that are doing exceptionally well at the moment. They might just surprise you, Mikel. They might be good enough. They might rise to the challenge, but we won't know that. So just go for it. And if they do need taking out, then you can bring back one of your older favourites later, get after a few games. If they're not rising to the challenge, bring back your El Neni or Xhaka or whatever. Fine, but give them a chance to prove themselves to you, and play the way you want to play. Because let's face it, we're all sick of it at the moment. We're sick to death watching the matches in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we're right. And with that, I'll go wrap things up, guys. It's been, nearly 3.5 hours. We actually won tonight. Did the 100%, which I expected from the start, to be honest, when the draw was made back in whenever it was, back in September, whenever it was. So 6 wins out of 6. Smashed the group. Now got the draw Monday, which is apparently according to BT at midday. So I'll be doing a live stream for that sort of live reaction to whoever we get and see how it pans out, basically. Sam, where can people find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. You can find me on Sam Greenwood TV here on YouTube. I do mostly late night, late evening Arsenal chats about what's going on at Arsenal, latest games, upcoming games, issues, etc. I also do some quizzes. And I'm also on your guys' channels as well, doing watch-alongs and other stuff. Yeah. It's always fun. And so if you can check out my channel, Sam Greenwood TV, subscribe, have a look. I'll be greatly appreciative of that. And thanks again for having me on. It's been great.
Yeah, no problem. And Andrew, what yourself?
Sorry, what was the question?
Where can people find your YouTube channel with podcasts and social media?
Oh, yes, thank you. Yeah. Well, firstly, thanks for having me on again, and apologies for my rant. But I need to get it off my chest. But it's From Dial Square to Where YouTube channel. Please, again, it'd be great if you could give us a try if you like it. Give us a subscribe, and at From Dial Square on Twitter. Thanks ever so much again from me.
Thank you for listening to From Dial Square to Where. Please help us grow by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and following the show on your preferred podcast platform. Please also visit our Facebook page, our Twitch channel and of course our YouTube channel. And whilst you are there, please subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss any upcoming shows. Please also press the like button on the video so we can get recommended by YouTube to other Arsenal fans all around the world. See you soon.
Can anyone catch them, do you think?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, unbelievable. We didn't expect that.
Arsene Wenger's Freedom on